That's awesome. Hi. Hi. Fun fact, I have no idea how this is gonna affect like the VOD. I've just been here yapping this whole time, talking to chat, thinking that you guys are talking back to me. I love YouTube. I love YouTube streaming. That's so cool. So we're just gonna do this again, and you're gonna pretend like you have been here this entire time. You're just gonna pretend like you've been here this whole time. I love streaming on YouTube. Isn't it great? Can you guys confirm for me real quick that the stream is actually live right now? Like, we're actually live this time, right? We're always talking back. Thank you, Where's Raven? Much appreciated, dude. So I'm gonna need your guys' feedback real quick. If you guys hear any like loud whirring or vacuum sounding noises, please let me know if that's popping up on the stream, because I just bought a Roomba and the Roomba is like running around my apartment. You guys missed it. It assassinated the green screen at one point. I've been watching the stream for 10 minutes. I know! You've been in chat for 10 minutes! I've been streaming to no one, apparently, for 10 minutes! Which is awesome. This is not pre-recorded? No, nothing's ever pre-recorded. It's all live, baby. It's all live. I was really wondering why you guys were talking about the thumbnail so much. That means you guys missed the perfect edit. You guys missed the edit. You guys missed me creating the ultimate thumbnail. Oh, that's so sad. I put so much effort into this, and you guys missed all of it. That's so sad. But anyway, we're back at it today. We're back, and today we're gonna be going over the last tournament that occurred in the Daybreak metagame. So Daybreak is officially over. Moonrise is legal today. If you have an LGS, you can actually go to a store today and purchase Moonrise. Like, it's out. Moonrise is out. I believe orders ship if you ordered from an LGS. I think orders ship out on the 21st. But if you have a physical store and you just show up, you can just buy Moonrise officially today in stores. So shout outs to Moonrise. So because of that, I think we're going to kind of skim through the every deck stuff from the previous tournament, and we're going to focus probably towards the back half of the stream on the future and looking at early takes on the Moonrise metagame, kind of do some tier listing, just where we think the game is headed, because I think that's the interesting stuff. That's the interesting thing. But you got to stick around for that. You have to stick around to get the goo, to get the future of Alestrals. Which is why I'm pointing in the thumbnail, which was a point that I discussed in the stream where I was streaming to nobody. Yeah, we're pointing to the future of Alestrals, which is Moonrise, not Daybreak. Daybreak is over. But there is still a Daybreak tournament that we haven't covered, so as is tradition, we're going to go over every single deck that was played in that tournament. And yeah, shout out to Law for pulling it all together. He's the GOAT. Touch grass, not me. Oh yeah, I would never do this. I would never touch grass. So this was on the 11th, so this was this past weekend. We had 84 players. Pretty big jump. The attendance is skyrocketing. Attendance is booming, boys. Booming. Can we get 5 big booms in the chat for the attendance booming? We got 26 5s. This, nothing too crazy here. Like, this is clearly the best deck, so people are going to play it the most. But there was a lot of variation in, like, the types of 5s that were played. And I'm really curious to see what these decks are like when we get to it in Law's breakdown, because I know in the past we have differed on how to differentiate some of these decks. So I'm really curious to see what has been broken down here. But there's been 15 water 5s, 4 frost water 5s, 3 thunder 5s, sure, 1 5s with a Pharaohgeist, already looking to the future, just like the thumbnail with Pharaohgeist, 1 Drakking 5s, 1 Nexus 5s, and 1 water lunar 5s. So shout out to water lunar 5s. I don't know what that means. And then we have 9 Fire Nexus. Fire Nexus, very cool deck. Really cool to see that it's like gaining popularity. I don't think a Fire Nexus topped though. I think one of them got 9th place. I know that I lost to a Fire Nexus player, and then I placed higher than them because I snuck into top cut and they did not. So rip Fire Nexus. 6 Chronidiles holding down the bottom of F tier. Shoutouts to Chronodile. Love them. Best entry point deck though. 6 Penterror. 5 Penterror also randomly is just like gaining a lot of popularity. Not really sure why, but like shoutouts to Penterror. 5 Eruption Burns. Which is crazy because I didn't play against a single Eruption Burn deck. I don't even know what that is. So that must be a test group or something. Like that must be like a group of players that all decide to show up with a similar deck. So really interested to see what that was because I didn't encounter that anywhere. 5 Water Reanimators. This is kind of a new deck that's cropped up very recently towards the end of the Daybreak metagame, and is a deck that I think that we're going to see a lot more in Moonrise. But so it's really interesting to see that it's popped up already in Daybreak as well. And I think a couple of them even topped, so it had a pretty good conversion rate in terms of topping decks. There's 4 Rhinosect, shout out Rhinosect, 3 Drakking, 3 Solar, yes, Solar, 3 Thunder, 2 Bears, 2 Earth, 2 Windbox, 2 Wasp Ivy. I don't know what these box things are. I don't, is that like toolbox? I don't know what box means. I would just call that wind. Because like Firebox, I don't know what Firebox is. I would assume that that's just Fire Nexus, but just miscategorized. Frost Nexus, Frostbox. Again, I'm not really sure what the difference between Frostbox and Frost Nexus is. So I would categorize that the same way. So I'm really curious to see why Law chose to categorize them differently. Cryo Scorch, a literal starter deck, and a water box. I didn't know Sue King decks make it to Top Cut. Slumpy, what is Sue King? Dare I ask? Anyway, we're gonna move on to 5s. Take a look at the 5s deck. This is really been the dominant deck of Daybreak and even Frostfall. Like this deck has kind of run the show for a while now, so we can kind of skim through these. So taking it first is 72nd place O2 drop water 5s. We've got 3 Galaxy, 3 Eddy, Lavalith, 3 Mustation, 2 Sluggle in the main deck. Kind of interesting to see. I'm actually not really a big fan of Sluggle in these 5 aggro type strategies. I think it's just really slow, but I know that a lot of people do play it. Arcalith, sure. Arcalith, good card. We got the standard 4 Thunder Dudes plus Zeus. Arrowmare, randomly. Like, shout outs to Arrowmare. Okay, I see you, Arrowmare. 2 Spectrus, sure. Pretty solid dude lineup. We got then Demeter as well as an Earthquake, sure. And then our staples. Okay, take a look at the Spirit deck. Spirit deck looks not too bad, pretty diverse. But one of the consequences of playing the Spectrus in the main deck was having to cut back on the Earth Spirits a little bit, which means that they're now siding Earth Spirits. This list looks very, very similar to the list that me, Trevor, and JJ played in one of the previous premieres, and we swept Top Cut with. So not surprising that this deck, like, not really surprising to see that it's very similar. I think that we'll see a lot of that with people borrowing like ideas. Not gonna lie, fives felt like it underperformed the tourney. It was weirdly varied. Yeah, fives did feel weirdly underpowered in this previous tournament. I'm not really sure why, because it had such a strong showing at the last premiere, and this time the deck just felt kind of bad. Like I don't really know why. Like, for example, Trevor, one of my testing partners who also got top 4 at the last premiere alongside me, he went 0-2 drop with the same deck list that me and Josh played. Like, he went 0-2 drop, and we're just like, what happened? He was like, I don't know, the deck just didn't feel that good. So yeah, fives is in a weird spot, but still the most represented deck. Still performed well. Here we have fives with Pharaohgeist 0-1 drop. Interesting. This is clearly fives. I mean, it's got all the standard Galaxy, Eddie, Astrabbit, Elichick, sure. But then we have the Caprigals for the Golden Fleeces. Okay. As well as Pharaohgeist and 3 Spectrus. Huh. I do like what they're doing because this is kind of like the scrap package here. But the thing that I think this deck did wrong, or maybe not so well, other than 5 spirits and sideboard, I'm going to scream, is that they're playing a lot of solar and lunar spirits that I don't think they need to be playing. I think that you could just cast these Golden Fleeces as Nexus banks, using something like Earth or Water or whatever, because Golden Fleece doesn't actually have to be cast with Solar. When you cast it with Caprigal, it can be cast with anything. So I think that maybe they just missed that, or maybe they overvalued the strength of Golden Fleece itself. Because I think a lot of this deck list looks really solid. It's just the spirits, just playing spirits that you don't really want to play. So pretty solid. Pretty solid. Cool idea. Sad they went 0-1. I would have liked to see them play this out, but they got their entry prize and they did. Play against 6 different decks. Yo, huge. This is the time for Chronodile to rise. I don't know about Chronodile to rise. Chronodile a little bit poo-poo stinky, but sure. Chronodile up top. You know what? I can get behind it. This is 1-2 water 5s. I think that this is Trevor, because this is the list that me and Josh played, like card for card. This is me and Josh's deck list card for card. So I think this is Trevor, because he played and he scrubbed. So sneak peek at that. But then we have another water 5s. This is also a 1-2 drop, and this is very similar to the list that I played last time. I think the main deck is card for card identical, and then the side deck is a little bit different. Looks like they're teching in this Curibus package. Curibus, Rock in a Hard Place. I don't think that these cards are very strong, but you know, maybe they just didn't have Argos. Entirely possible. Just make dude with what they have. Here we have 2-3 water 5s. This one is almost identical to the previous list, except it is playing 1 Aphros, and it is also running a Poseidon. Okay. And it's siding 4 spirits. Awesome. We're playing Equilinx without the Argos. Got it. Love this. We're maining 4, or siding 4 spirits. For what? I'm not really sure. I guess Thunder for the Arcolith? There's like a Necruff in here randomly, and an Ash Rabbit. Yeah, a lot of these choices aren't like super great, but maybe they're just playing with what they have. I think that's a common theme. 2/4 Drakking 5s. So this is kind of like, I would just call this standard Drakking. I wouldn't really separate this out from 5s. I think that this is just Drakking, but sure, let's go ahead and call it Drakking 5s. Went 2/4. Rest in peace, Drakking, my goat. Let's see. If this was to go wrong, I think really the place where this went the worst is like the main deck looks fine, but the Spirit deck, again, this is a common issue with Drakking decks, is they always end up playing too much Lunar. So the Lunar is probably like encroaching on the other cards. They don't have the Elechic core in here, which is a downside for 5s. Like any 5 space strategy, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And then the side deck is kind of all over the place. The side deck's not really hitting any matchups. Like missing out on the Argos is really bad. So yeah, that's really the only thing that I can identify here. Water 5s, just more of the same. This one's playing the Arrowmare again. Not really sure where this Arrowmare tech came from. I think it's because it popped up on the live stream that one time. Maybe. So cool. We have the Arrowmares here. Nice little defender, but that's not really what you want to be doing in 5s anyway, so that's probably why it like didn't do so hot. This one's playing Atlantis, which is sure to boost your dudes, but I think the problem with Atlantis specifically is that a lot of people are playing 5s, which they were, and a lot of people were playing water decks, which they were. Atlantis doesn't do anything because it boosts both players. Everybody's going to have water spirits regardless. So I don't think Atlantis was that strong. Also, only one Argo leads me to believe they only have the one Argo. Siding the Elechic is certainly a choice. Not sure what's up with that. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we got another Water 5s with Arcolith. People really love the Arcoliths. This seems pretty fine, but again, my comment at the Sluggles is I don't really love these in the 5s deck just because they're too slow. They don't really keep up the pace of play that you want to play at with the 5s deck. Not the biggest fan of that. Rest of the main seems fine. The side deck, again, seems like fine. They have a lot of heal stuff, trying to like side into maybe like heal stall. Heal stall was something that I know that my test group was like very concerned about. Like we thought that everybody was going to be on it. And then like nobody played it like at all. So neat. Crab spotted. We do love Crab. What's up, Josh? And then this one also is siding triple Jolton, double Atlantis. This kind of makes the Atlantis problem that I spoke about a second ago worse. Where it's like, okay, well, if we've already established that Atlantis probably isn't that good because everybody has water cards in their deck, playing the 3 Joltons for the Atlantises definitely doesn't feel good. Also, no Necklace of Harmonia makes the Argos worse. So that's probably where I would improve this. Thunder 5s, 3/4. Heal Stalls evolved into Reanimator. Yeah, that's that was my takeaway on it, is that Heal Stall is just now the Reanimator deck. And honestly, I feel like Heal Stall is still better. Like I don't know. We'll talk about Water Reanimator. We'll talk about that later because I have thoughts on it that I think are more relevant to Moonrise than anything else. Let's see. We got Thunder 5s. This one is also playing on Viserys. Viserys, I've seen so far, like I haven't commented on it, but a lot of people seem to have been moving towards Viserys with the 5s deck. So I don't know how I feel about that. We threw Viserys in our deck like super last minute just to see if it was any good. It sucked. Like it wasn't very good for any of us. Though there was one game where I played a Viserys and I ran over something, or my opponent like crashed into my Viscerous for some reason, and then I summoned like a Fire Vis and then I summoned Lavalith. That was like the only thing that Vis did for me the whole tournament, so shouts to Vis. This one's really interesting because this one is playing fewer dudes than like you probably should be on. Because it's only on 15. We have to subtract 1 for Arcolith. We have to subtract 2 for Quackles. So that's 12 dudes in a 5 stack. That doesn't feel that good. Similar comment about spirits on the side. Like the spirits are all over the place in this list, unfortunately. I'm so tired of heal stall, boss. I'm so tired. Me too, dude. We got to get rid of these heal cards. But thankfully, we got spoiled for that. Shout out to Moonrise. Let's see. We got Water 5's Drakking. Again, this is just Drakking. I'm not really sure why this is like being classified differently. Yeah, this is just Drakking. So Drakking still holding down D tier in D for Drakking tier. Interesting, no Tsunami in the main. This was something that I also noticed, is that not a lot of people were Tsunamiing me. Though really curious as to why they chose Dense Fog in the main. Because Dense Fog has been a consistent underperformer. 3-3 Water 5s at 35th place. This looks almost card for card exactly our main deck. This is almost exactly card for card my main deck. This is the same deck that me and Josh played, actually. So one of two things either happened. Josh, since you're in chat, how many people did we give our deck list to? I know it was us and Trevor. Was there a fourth canary? Because JJ didn't play. For all the galaxies in the meta? Oh, that makes sense. Turn the music down just a wee bit. Oh, yeah, I got you. I got you. Turn it down a smidge. Is this good now? One of two things happened here in this deck list. Either we gave our deck list out to somebody else and I just was unaware, or our deck list was just that like unchanged from last time, that someone else just said, hey, what if I just took out Necro for this? That's exactly what happened. You can lower it more. Has to be Trevor or JJ. Well, JJ didn't play, and we already found Trevor because Trevor went 1-2. Leaker, get them. Yeah, somebody leaked the deck list. I almost cut Tsunami entirely. That's crazy. I don't think I would ever cut Tsunami entirely. That card's insane. No, this is definitely Trevor. Well, somebody else played our exact deck list and went 1-2 as well. I thought no, it's definitely not Trevor, because Trevor told... I hung out with Trevor that night, and in the car, Trevor told me he dropped round 3. So that definitely wasn't Trevor. JJ didn't play? No, JJ did not play. JJ didn't play, and Trevor dropped on round 3. So I don't know who the person who went 3-3 was. That is either somebody that just divined, that just made the same changes to our previous deck list that we did. Because that's all we did, is we just edited our previous deck list and, like, sent it. Or somebody leaked the deck list. I just kept signing it out. That's fair. I also signed it out quite a bit. But I think there's some nuance there. I don't think that you can cut Tsunami, because Tsunami is more efficient than the card. Like, whenever I sided out Tsunami, I was putting in Argo. And Argo is not a card that I would necessarily main deck. Speaking of main deck Argo, this is a 5-stack that main decked Argo, which Law has called Nexus 5s. which I believe is formerly known as Scrap. So shout outs to Scrap. This was another thing that we had discussed, was just putting Kinleos and Echolinks into the 5s deck and just like full sending it, but we didn't want to do that. So cool to see that. I mean, they played it. They played the Hephaestus. It went 3-4. Cool to see it in action. They did play Barabog. Shout out Barabog. I wonder if I played against this opponent, because somebody definitely Barabogged me during the tournament. Somebody 100% Barabogged me. It was kind of awesome. At 33rd, we got another 3-4 Thunder 5s. This is just 5. Like, this is kind of similar to the Adrian deck list that won the previous premiere, because it has the one Thunderstorm, the Viseruses, the one Jolton, one Olympus, one Race. Yeah, this looks like the Adrian deck list from the previous premiere. So somebody played this and went 3-4. This is as scrappy as it gets. Yeah. I always love doing these just to see how Law will name the deck lists. That's one of my favorite parts of doing these. But just because I forgot previously, if these streams are some of your favorite Celestial streams, or if you just want to placate me, can you guys like go click that little like button? It helps out the stream a lot and the channel. And it'll make me love you. It'll make me happy. Can you please do it? Pretty please? Let's see. Oh, this is our first positive score deck list. This is a Water 5s. This is a 4-3 drop. So this looks very, very similar to the list that we played at the previous tournament from my test group, but with some core changes. They put in Spectruses into the main. This was a common change that I saw. Dense Fogs in the main for the Galaxies, it seems. Random Nog. Shout outs to Nog. One Crab spotted. Spirit deck seems like it's kind of all over the place. Side deck is a mess that I'm not going to touch. Yeah. Perfect. I'm liking so hard right now. Keep liking! Keep liking the stream, boys and girls and other genders. Keep liking. Chat. There we go. That's the one. That's the one. Chat. These are my favorite Celestial streams. They're also the only Celestial streams I watch. Perfect. I'm winning by default. And that's the best way to win. I love winning by lack of competition. It's incredible. It's immaculate. Like, then you can press dislike and like again. Wait. Hold. Don't press dislike. Do not press dislike. Press like. Dislike hurts the stream. Like helps the stream. 4-3 Water 5s. I feel like we've seen this exact same deck list before. This one's interesting because this is like someone took the list that we did well with at the last tournament. Like, the inspiration is clear. However, instead of cutting the Necrofs, they cut the Mustations for Viserys. That's awesome. Directions unclear. Eddie's stuck in ceiling fan. No! Get the Eddie out of the ceiling fan. He doesn't belong there. He's going to get hurt. Another interesting note on this one is looking at the side deck. I'm wondering if this is like a card like collection issue, because they're on one Owloon for 3 Specterus, which we've had this conversation before. This is just objectively wrong. You can only do that for like the 3-1 split for runes. You can't do it for dudes because of shield and shield's prevalence in the metagame. Same with PTA. But they're also on Sonicore and Eruption in the side. Siding extra Thunder Spirits for why? I don't know. I have questions. But shout out to Sonicor. Jinzo, good card. 25th, we got 4/3 Water 5s with Earth. I love these names, dude. Water 5s with Earth. Hold on, where's the Jimmy Neutron meme? Where is it? Here we go. It's, hold on, that's Facebook. I don't want Facebook. That's still Facebook. Copy image. There we go. All right, we got Funky Jam Dance Party with some science, aka Funky Water Jam with some Earth. Shout outs to Funky Water Jam with some Earth. Before we have Water 5s with 4s. Yo! Why didn't I think of that? Water 5s with 4s? Shout outs to Water 5s with 4s. I can't wait for Water 5s with some 6s. That's gonna be broken. So this is Water 5s with some 6s because it has the crabs. Shout outs to crabs. They went 4/3. Pretty solid theory. Just play, you know, other good beaters. The side deck is where this deck list, I think, turns into a bit of a mess. Is we're siding 1 Earth, you know, just because. Siding Lavalith never feels great, especially if you're siding the Spectruses too. Like, this feels really bad. And then the random, like, one of series. I love the commitment to 1 Thunderstorm, 1 Mudslide. We're not really sure which one's good, so we'll play 1 of each. Yeah. The side deck is, I think, where this deck fell short. 4/3 Water Lunar 5s. This is pretty solid. I mean, you got your 5s core with also some Viscerae in here. But then also there was Nobby and Specterus. I think I played against this opponent because I remember somebody Nobbied me. And I remember saying, is that a Nobby? And they said yes. And then they lost. But shout outs to Nobby. Love Nobby. They sided 3 Necroff. Cool. We love Necroff in this house. We have 3 Gloombat in the side as well. A lot of Lunar going on in here, which never feels great. I really don't think they should have been on this much Lunar in the first place. And siding more of it feels really bad when you're already on this much. So, not a fan of that. They are siding into a Drakking package, which I think is fine. Like, I think that part's fine. 3 Boombat. Boombat has really fallen off in, like, popularity. I think that this card actually kind of sucks. And then 3 Necroff. Again, for why? Why Necroff? I think that this might be me and Josh brain rot because so the lore on the Necroffs and why Necroff is in the deck now that Daybreak metagame is over is we had an initial draft of the deck that played Small Tuga. And so we played Necroff for the Small Tugas. We then cut Small Tuga, and we forgot to cut Necroff for anything better, which is what we changed this time around. So I love to see that us just, you know, we just left the dog in the deck, and now we've seen like 5 5s decks that are running Necroff. And it's like, oh, oops, sorry, we psyoped you. We're just stupid. Sorry. Water and Lunar Wooter. I was thinking more later. It's later. That's so awesome. Yeah, I know. We accidentally psyoped people into thinking that Necroff is good. It's like, oops, sorry. Oopsie. Necroff was just there as a vestigial Estral. Let's see. This time we got 4/3 Water Frost 5s, or otherwise known as Cryovern 5s, or Cryoling 5s. I'm a big fan of this deck. I think this deck is really good. I think that this deck list maybe could have used a little bit of help. Personally, I like 2 Cryovern in this deck because it never feels good to have like effectively 5 Cryoverns in your deck or Cryolings in your deck, and only one of them can ever actually ascend. Feels really bad, but I do get the jest theory of just play the 1 Cryovern, so I get it. I'm sorry, did you guys hear that? I think my Roomba's talking to me. Dimax invaded the great nation of New Jersey and kept winning with Cryovern vibes. I love this deck. This was one of my favorite like decks from Elestriad Season 2. So I'm glad to see that it's seeing meta play now. Yeah, not really too much to say. It's just a 5 deck with Cryoverns in it. As for the side deck, I do like the Moraliths in here, but I'm not sure why they would be in the side over the main. Maybe like specifically siding it for when you go first so that you like play a dude and then it dies and then you run out Moralith, I guess. Again, I think that this is probably where this deck list went wrong, is they didn't play something like an Argo in the side. Argo is really good for combating stuff like Frost, so having Argo, like not having Argo feels kind of bad when you're in this beatdown kind of meta. Here was a bubble, 16th place. Bottom of top 16 is 5-2 Frostwater 5s. This is my opponent for round 7. Having double Cryovern won me the mirror. Yep. Yeah, I think the second one's really important, and I think that cutting it feels really bad. Like, this is, as Hunter Surge, were you the 5-2? Is this Laura's list? Oh, is Laura the one that went 4-3? Oh, yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah, so this must be Laura's list then. I wonder if Jess played the same list. This one is you? Okay. This makes sense. All right, let's take a look at this. Yeah, this is very much... Yeah, very similar list. Very cool list as well. Again, though, I think that not having the Argos maybe could have, like, impacted you. I think that, like, not having that feels kind of sad in this deck. But, yeah, like, this deck's cool. I just think the side deck is really the only thing that I would, like, update here, because Atlantis feels bad, Boombat feels bad, Veritaqua feels bad, Dense Fog feels bad when you're also running Spectrus. So a lot of cards that could probably just get trimmed. Like, you could, like, cut 5 of these, make an Argo package in there, and then just, like, I don't know, put something else in here that, like, functions. I'm not really sure what you'd want. But, yeah, I think just a little bit more refinement. But still 5-2, pretty impressive, pretty solid. I think that just speaks to the strength of the, like, the core main deck, if the only complaint really is the side deck. 4 to 5 casters say net deck Dimax. I love net decking Dimax. It's awesome. Chat, like the stream if you love net decking Dimax. 15th place, another top 16 is another Frostwater 5. So a lot of Frostwater 5s did bubble this event. They did do pretty well, but they just didn't convert at the end of the day. So again, standard water core. This one opted to only play 1 Narpoon, 2 Cryovern. That doesn't feel great. A little bit of a lower counter rune lineup. Interesting that they opted to main deck 3 Tsunami and then side the 3rd Poison Tip Arrow instead of the reverse, which is what we usually see. Also cool to see that they sided into Cryo Scorch. I think that that's really, really solid, because I do love playing Cryo Scorch in this type of deck, like for mirror matches and stuff. So I do like that. That's cool. The idea behind Dense Fog was to allow you to disrespect Galaxy in Game 3. You're forced to not play around Tsunami in Games 2-3, so players will see you do that and bring in Tsunamis for Game 3. So being able to blank that is huge. Yeah, but isn't that what you have Spectrus for? When I tried to deck Dynamax, he's playing an Ashes build, you handed him Trish. Yeah, of course. I love giving Dynamax, like, deck list that's just like, I don't know. Here, Dynamax, go play this. I don't know if it's going to be any good. And then it's dog shit. But, like, Dynamax does well with it because he's the GOAT. Though, spoilers for later in the stream. Pick up your Rise from the Ashes now. Spoiler for later in the stream. You gotta get those cards. That card is messed up. That card is so good. The Dynamax difference. Dynamax is truly the GOAT. I love Dynamax, bro. Here we got another Water 5s. This one looks kind of like how my deck did post-siding a lot of the time, because I feel like I sided out of the crabs very often. The crab felt very, very bad. So I don't hate that. Again, like, this deck list feels like a MacGyvered or like a piecemealed version of the deck that me, Josh, etc., like, we all played. Like, you see a lot of, like, the skeleton there, and then just some changes here and there, so not too much to say. 10th place, we got 5-2 Water 5s with Curibus. This one is just Water 5s with a Curibus in it. This one's really interesting, because this one's close to Heal Stall. They're playing 3 Sluggles with Equilynx in the main deck, which is Psycho. Incredible. Love that. Yeah. Again, I'm not really the biggest fan of Sluggle in this deck, but cool to see that it worked for them. Yeah, I mean, this is sick. I do think the extra Rock in a Hard Place do help this deck a lot, though. Especially having Rock in a Hard Place plus Eddie. That's such a swing. Like, that's so strong. And then it looks like they're siding into, like, Heal Stall, so... Boo! Boo! Heal Stall, boo! I absolutely punted by forgetting I had set Gorgon's Gaze when he sluggled in time. No! No! Imagine having the out to the sluggle. It's like, nah, you can have it. I just think Crab is a bad card. Crab does feel like a bad card. Yes. Crab definitely feels like a bad card. Crab feels like a really good card when the opponent has Galaxy on the board and at literally no other point. Yeah. So, moving on to Fire. It's going to go a lot faster because 5s was our most represented deck. Remember to like the stream if you haven't already. It does help us out a lot, and we need those likes. We need those likes, boys and girls. Triple Frostmite side is goated. Yeah, big fan of the Triple Frostmite side. That card seeing a lot more play is really, really cool. Love that card a lot. So starting off with our Fire Nexus, we got an 0-1 drop Fire Nexus. That's my go. Love Fire Nexus. Let's see. How similar is this to the Kokomo list? Pretty damn, actually. Pretty similar. Alter in the deck. I'm still not the biggest fan of Alter in Fire Nexus, unfortunately. It just felt like there was a lot of times where I couldn't make use of it. But, yeah. Why this up? Tell me Frost is bad. I don't know. I'm a Frost believer. I'm a big Frost believer. Frost stonks to the moon. To the moon. They're siding Eruptions, which is neat. I like that. Side deck actually looks pretty compact. I like the side deck a lot. The only thing I think I'd really change is like maybe shields over altars, like in the main deck. And other than that, this seems pretty good. Even if it's bad. Yeah, that's true. I just think that shield would have been better there. Like, better in slot. Look at this. This is another 0-1 drop Fire Nexus. Pretty solid fire lineup of dudes. No one of Ash Rabbit feels bad, though. Ash Rabbit, I think, is insane in this deck. Arcolith, not a fan of Arcolith. Not a fan of Arcolith in this deck. I do see that they're on the Electric. Was the last guy on Electric, too? No. So Elchick making its way into Fire Nexus, trying to piggyback off of 5s a little bit, but I guess it didn't work out because they collected their prizing and dipped. As for the side deck, the triple Eruption makes a return again. Triple Eruption's not too great, but it is what it is. We do see the Ash Rabbit pop up in the side. We see Baltuga for the Eruptions. I do think that the Earthquake should have been in the main deck. This card probably should almost always be in main. This card's crazy. Same with Laurels. So cutting those feels really, really bad. But other than that, this list looks pretty good. Oh my god, this is my GOAT. Someone who played it out. I love the players that play it out. I love the players that play it out. This is a 1/6. 1/6 fire deck with Flaracne. It has 2 Flaracne in the main. 2 Flaracne. Shoutouts to Rhiceros. 3 Blazerus. 1 Trifernal. 1 Rummacoal. 2 Boltuga. 1 Vesuvatuga. 2 Rabbit. 1 Elchick. 2 Eruption. 1 Chains. 3 Circle the Sky. 3 Gaze. 2 Poison Tip. And a Shield. The Spirit deck, I don't know, man. The Spirit deck's all over the place. No water anywhere is awesome. In a fire deck, Small Tuga, who needs them? Who needs Small Tuga? Oh, I know the story behind this. The player did not know you had to ascend. Oh. That makes so much sense. Cards I own Turbo? No. If we look at this through the lens of not knowing that you have to ascend and that you can just play 2-drops, like just outright, this makes so much more sense now. That makes so much more sense. Yeah, that makes so much sense. I love that they played it out, though. That's my GOAT. Anyone who plays out when they're losing every goddamn round, that's a hero. I love that. I absolutely love that. We love Junior Journey Alestrals. Josh, what does Junior Journey Alestrals mean? Hope this player is having a great day. I do too. Good video idea. I'm doing this now. What does that mean? Yo, what if... All right, video idea. But we're going to need like 10 years to make this video. We all go out. We all go have kids. Like today. Like go get someone pregnant today. 9 months from now, you start training a baby to become an Alestrals champion. And in like 6 to 7 years, we get all of our children together. And we make them run a tournament, but we don't tell them how to play Alestrals until they turn 6 or 7. And just watch chaos unfold. It's perfect. I have 3 in trading already. Oh my god. Law's gonna win. He's gonna win the child brawl. Oh, that's future Alestrals champions. Law children. Trish was so real when he said repopulate the human race. With Alestrals players. We need to repopulate the human race with TCG players. Thoughts? My kid about to draw God hands. You already know. Oh my god. I could not imagine. Alright. This is 1/2 drop Fire Nexus. This looks very standard. Very solid. Again, with the shield and the side over the altars. I would just flip those. Everything else looks standard and looks good. Good list. Unfortunate run. 2-5. Ah, another person that played it out. Hold on, we got a 2-5 Trifernal. And hold on. This is an 11 card side deck. This isn't even the classic 12 card side deck. This is an 11 card side deck, and they still manage to side spirits. 20 fires. Ah, no. It's not 20 fire. There's one water. There's one water. It's 19 fire. I just realized that they have no water cards in their deck anywhere. They have one water spirit to play around Tsunami on Trifernal. Incredible. Wait. Hold on. Oh, no. Never mind. I was going to say this might just be somebody that only owns the Blazerous starter decks. Until I noticed the Exalt Flares, and then I noticed that they had Exalt Flares, and then I noticed that they had what's it called? They had something else that's not in there. Oh, an Argo. We love diversity. Yo, is that the man himself? Is that the Daniel A Drive? Hello, Daniel A Drive. Can never go 20. Exactly, you can never go 20. The only deck that can go 20 solar spirits is solar. I can't even finish that sentence without just saying 20 solar spirits. I love solar so much. It is the 20 spirit deck. Only in solar can you do 20. I love this. This is awesome. Shoutouts to this dude. Again, like anyone who plays out with a losing record, that's my GOAT. Play out when you scrub. I love it. We need more scrub out records. Because that's how you get better. The first ever Yu-Gi-Oh tournament I ever played in, I went 1-7. And my one win was because my opponent left the table mid-game and never came back. And then I went to Worlds, and it only took a decade, baby. It only took a decade. That's how you get better? Exactly. A-Drive's got it, man. A-Drive's got it. A-Drive, I need your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this first positive record that we found? First positive record, Fire Nexus. Thoughts on this Fire Nexus list specifically? I'm not going to say anything. I just need your thoughts. Love Trish's first Celestials tournament too. Also 1-7. Ah! No. It was 2-2. It was 2-2, but I lost to Centaur. So it's basically 1-7. 3-1 my first MTG tourney. Get on my level. I also 3-1 my first MTG tourney. That's kind of awesome. I think that says more about MTG than anything else. I showed up to an MTG draft. I remember this. It was in college. It was Ixalan. I showed up because I saw dinosaur cards in the window. And I was like walking down the street past the locals. I saw dinosaur cards in the window, like now available. I walked in. I'm like, y'all. Do y'all draft? And they're like, yeah, we started drafting in about 20 minutes if you want to hang out. I was like, I'm there. I showed up. I just picked dudes. I just picked random cards. I didn't know how to play MTG, and I didn't know what would be good, and I went 3-1. I picked all the red cards. Pick red, baby. You just win. Needs more Krakatuga. You heard it here first. This deck, absolute dog shit, absolute trash, absolute should have never signed up because it doesn't play Krakatuga. Thank you, Daniel A Drive. A Drive said it here first. That is quote Mr. A Drive himself. You are bad if you do not play Krakatuga. Signed, Daniel A Drive. You heard it here first, folks. Perfect. Pronounce Ixalan again. Ixalan. Played mono red my first tourney ever. Yeah, I think I did too. I think it might have been like white red or like red, just like pure red. Yeah, this list looks fine though. It looks pretty standard. I feel like they're short like 2 dudes though. And I don't know what dudes they would be. Oh, maybe it's because they're up on Forge? Oh, they're also not playing, Oh, I know what it is. They're not playing Rummikul. They're not playing Rummikul. Yeah, that tracks. Now, here's 4-3, 21st place. This one's doing something kind of interesting that I enjoy. I like this, but Josh would yell at me for probably. And I'm about to yell at them for because I just noticed something. Is playing 3 Rummikul, 3 Small Tuga, because the Rummikul and Small Tuga are basically the same card. They search for any fire, but then I just noticed they're not playing Stoke the Forge. So I don't like this anymore. I think we need to cut one of the forges for a Stoke the Forge. And then I love this. I think this deck 10 out of 10 banger. Because I love the consistency. That's my favorite part about Fire Nexus. Is just that you always have Kinleo. Like that card is always glued to your hand. Which means that your opponent's cards are never glued to their board. Which makes it awesome. I would have also found space for Earthquake. I think if I was going to, like, if this was me, I would take out 1 Forge and the 2 Thunderstorms. I'd put in 2 Stoke and Earthquake, and then this deck list is mwah, perfection. Also, switch Alter for Tsunami, probably. And, like, go down 2 Fire Spirits for the 2 Earth. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, and then this deck list, mwah, perfection. Mwah, so close. 5-2, 14th place Fire Nexus. Oh, okay, so we had multiple Fire Nexus that bubbled. Okay. This one's also maining Thunderstorm. Wait, is this the same deck list? This is almost exactly the same deck list. Oh, that's crazy. T-Storm, best card in the deck. Stoke is bad. No, you're crazy. Stoke is the best card in this deck. I'm curious as to why you think Thunderstorm's really good, though. Also, wait, Adam, which one is you? Are you the 4-3 or the 5-2? It just has like a random Eddie. Hey. I like random Eddie. He's a good boy. He's Viper built it together. Okay. Okay, so all 3 of you guys then played the same deck list. Or very similar. 5-2 is you. Okay. Okay. I'm baffled that you guys cut Stoke the Forge. That card is crazy. That card's like insane. Need more back row hate. Really? They played Tunic because they're dumb. Oh no, the testing group is infighting in the YouTube comments. Oh no. Not in the chat. I get Aeolus for 5 against Fire Nexus for it to be Team Storm. Oh, that always feels so good. Whenever I have Thunderstorm in my hand, I just happen to be playing against Wind Nexus, and they always go Aeolus for 5. And I'm like, you're not going to like me next turn. You're really not going to like me next turn. And I say, oh yeah, draw for turn. Oh yeah. And, you know, if I'm feeling nice, you play the Ass Trap at first to make them think that you don't already have the Thunderstorm. You're like, oh, yeah, Ass Trap effect. Oh, yeah, I found it off the Ass Trap. Yeah, of course. You know, it totally wasn't just sitting here in my hand. I've just been grinning like an idiot for, like, 3 minutes. Definitely not a thing. Can't wait for the Hurricane Pops coming. I can wait. That's another thing. Like when we get into the Moonrise section of this stream, I gotta talk about Hurricane because that card confuses the hell out of me. Like I'm genuinely baffled by that card because I have never played a card that feels so good to play and feels so bad when I play it at the same time. Like Dan, you have somehow made a card that is like the best card ever printed and it's terrible. I don't get it. I don't understand at all. like I play Hurricane, and it's like, I win. I Hurricane 3 back row. I'm winning the game. I'm ahead. You are never coming back. Oh my god, I lost the game. How did this happen? I have never won a game where I've activated Hurricane. It's insane. I don't understand. I really don't get it. So I've been like coming up with all kinds of theories to explain it, and like it's kind of cool. Perfect game balance design, Avi. I'm not gonna lie. Kinda. It's the spirit mechanic, dude. The spirit mechanic, it cooks. It like warps everything I know about like game theory for like card games in like the best ways. I love it. Does have a 100% loss rate. Josh can attest. In all of me and Josh's testing, I have not won a single game where I drew Hurricane and just slammed that on the field. Josh, did you lose the games against Dimax last night where you Hurricaned him, or did you win? Because those games, I think you won those games. I think you won that game, but that was also because you had a 5-card combo in hand. It was crazy. Your hand was ridiculous. We're so off track. Anyway, Stoke the Forge, best card in the deck, etc. Yo, Ignector Fire, let's go. Wait, is this one? This one has to be Viper, right? This one's Viper, or was it Dimax? Because I know that Dimax played Ignector Fire, but I didn't remember him getting 9th. Because I thought Viper got 9th. Was it? Did I just like psyop myself? Hurricane, cast, Rabbit, and defense, pass. Yes! Yes! A-Drive understands! Oh, I love doing that. Main deck felt perfect. Problems with the playing side. This is my list. Okay. Let me look up some mean words to say about you. Nope, it's perfect. It's perfect. So I tried to pill Josh on Ignector Fire all the way back in Kokomo. Like I tried to get us on Ignector Fire all the way back in Kokomo, and Josh was like, no Trish, you're stupid. Ignector is a bad card. And then I think I called Dimax like around that time, and I was like, Dimax, what if we played Ignector? And he's like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. And then we just never talked about it again for months. And then Dimax showed up with this, and I was like, I love you, Dimax. I'm so sad that he didn't top. I'm so sad. Because I love this card. I love it so much. Viper is the topping Fire list. Oh, okay. So Fire did top. Okay. I thought that Fire didn't top and that Viper was the one that got bubbled out. But Viper did top and Dimax got bubbled out. I just misremembered. That's so sad. Shoutouts to Ignector. This is peak deck building. Yeah, it's awesome. So I think Dimax, I'll like yap about it. Just feel free to add anything if there was anything. The thing that I found was the problem with Ignector when I played it at Kokomo was the issue was like you would play your Kinleo and you would have to sack your Forge in order to like pop stuff so often because there just wouldn't be a bank on the field unless they played into Argo. So the thought I had that I pitched to Josh was, what if we played Ignector? Because like if you cast Ignector turn 1, you get 3 dudes on the board. Even if they have Laurels plus a dude, you still have an Ignector on the following turn, and then you just play Kinleo, you siphon off that Ignector, and then you pop their dude and you swing at them. So Ignector was just there as like a bank. Sesh, you saw it, and we pogged out our minds. We moved on for months. No, I definitely did not. I definitely didn't get it from you, Dimax. I definitely like called Josh about it like the day after Kokomo. But I do know that we talked about it like around that time. Because I thought I told you about it. Because I know I was like yapping about this to anybody that would listen for a little bit. Nexus is the real Eternity of Ung. Interdependent came to Ignector. That's why I love Dymax. We both just like end up on the same shit. It's awesome. And then Josh calls both of us dumb. And we're like, no, it's good, I promise. For ages. Oh, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that is probably exactly what happened. Because I remember we talked about it at one point. And I was really excited. Because I remember, like, I fell in love with this card when, I think it was Shady. Shady wanted to play Ignector. And I remember I woke up, like, early one morning, and I looked at the Elestriad Season 2 group chat. And it was, like, 4 a.m. or something, so Shady was, like, in the chat. Because he was, like, at the gym or something. And I was like, oh my god, let me cook with Ignector. And then I cooked up a deck list and like passed it to Shady that I think he won with, which was like a super pivotal game where he like Ignector burned Coder. And that was awesome. That was awesome. And ever since then, I've been trying to like jam this in literally anything. I love this card so much. Never played Solar though. No, Dymax played Solar. Because I remember jamming Solar Mirrors with Dymax for, I think it was like 6 hours at one point. This is why I was so convinced Dense Fog was so good. Because when I was still of the mind that Solar was the greatest gift to mankind from God, like, it was because me and Dymax were like playing different Solar decks. And the only way I could beat Dymax's Solar deck was to Dense Fog the Nebuleo in the mirror. Because it counts my cards too. Chronodile. Yo, bottom of F tier. We love Chronodile. These are probably going to be like starter deck mashups. Because a common trend that we've learned with Chronodile is much like Drakking players, people who play Chronodile and Drakking are usually newer players because they're really easy decks to put together. So usually the deck lists never look that good. Which is why they end up in F tier. There was a lot of Chronodile enjoyers at this one. Yeah, I think there were 6. There's quite a few, actually. It was like the tied for the 3rd most represented deck, I think. So let's see if anything goes wrong with this deck. We got the Plucky Poseidon combo. Yippee. Love this. 3 Plucky should be in this deck. For sure. There should be 3 Plucky Elechic. For sure. Because this deck needs Poseidon to function. Tadpuff. Hate this card. This card's awful. Well, actually... Tadpuff might be okay in specifically Chronodile. No. I'm talking myself out of it. This card sucks. Tadpuff sucks. Cerebral's really funny. I love this card, but I don't think Cerebral's good. Cerebral was really good in Frostfall metagame, like theoretically, because that was back when Sparkit was running around, so everyone would set all their cards as bluffs, and then you could jump scare them with Cerebral. And the fact that like Sparkit doesn't exist to force bluffs onto the board feels really sad. Like, it feels so sad because the best part of Cerebral was like playing Thunder and then siding into Cerebral because your opponent would set their whole hand because they're like, I'm not gonna let you Sparkit me, and you're like, yeah, I'll cast Cerebral, and you pop like 3 Ambrosias. It's like awesome. Sick. Thank you, Cerebral. Very cool. I remember we used to say Tadpuff was good when turboing out Chronodile. Streamers changed. I feel like I change my opinion on things like every day. I feel like if you ask me if a deck is good today, I'll tell you it's terrible tomorrow. It's like, yeah, this deck's the best deck in the game. Tomorrow, this deck sucks and I hate it. The following day, I don't know, it's kind of mid. Next day, we're so back. I found the new tech card. This deck's awesome. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. Toxic relationship with deck building. I do like the Boombats in the main. This is good because you can go summon Boombat, enchant with Poseidon, pop a card, swing. That's pretty good. At least like a list I made at the start of Moonrise. Is this another Dymax Net deck? I really hope it is. Except for Centaur. We never hate Centaur. I'm actually a big Centaur fan. I can't wait to talk about the Centaur deck when we get to that part of the stream, because that deck is awesome. Gloombats. I like Gloombat. Yeah. 0-1 Chronodile. 69th place 0-1 Chronodile with no side deck. This is my GOAT. Let's go! And technically this is not 3 starter decks combined because they have 3 Gaze. And I don't think Gaze was in Chronodile, right? Or maybe Gaze was in Chronodile and PTA was in the other one. But they have a counter rune suite. So they actually have cards. Yeah, Pog. I do love that they're on 1 Argo as well. 1 Argo feels awesome. 1-1 Chronodile. Here's something I have to like be confused by. Is like the 0-1, I understand. Like maybe you just wanted the prizing and you drop. The 1-1 is where I get confused. You play out 2 rounds and you drop when you're X1. Why? Why not wait for the 1-2 drop? Or the 2-2 drop? Why the 1-1 drop? Huh. Also, this is an interesting Chronodile deck, because this was clearly someone who chose to play Chronodile because they have Galaxies, they have Earthquake. They only played 1 Chronodile, which is interesting. I feel like you play 3 in Chronodile. Cookies were done. Mom came in with the pizza rolls and they said, no more Alestrals. No more Alestrals. They unplugged the Xbox. Probably need more back row. 2, 3, 7, 10. Yeah, instead of the Nogs, maybe be on more back row. Huh. Probably... I think it's this Kerbis package that's probably eating up too much space. Oh, well, hold on. I guess I didn't see the Tsunamis. So it's like 10 back row. Yeah, it's probably the Kerbis package. Did make me pizza rolls for the tourney. Let's go! When the wife comes in with the pizza rolls, but your X3 drop, baby. Let's go! Galaxy is in that starter. Is it? It's been a while since I've opened Chronodile. Yo! Hold on. 2, 4, 7, 8. 8 card side deck, baby. Let's go! I love Chronodile! Yeah. This sure is Chronodile. This is actually a much better Chronodile list, though, when I'm looking at it, because it's 3 Dial, 3 Eddy, 2 Foamy, 3 Galaxy. So it's got a 5 score. It's got Rabbit. Like, it's got good cards in this deck. I think the drawback is that, unfortunately, it is playing Chronodile. But, like, this really makes me wonder why Chronodile can't do better than this. Because I feel like you could just, like, say you cut the Drataguas and the Boombats. Like, you could just, like, put in some more 5s or something in here. And, like, this deck doesn't sound like it would be bad, you know? I feel like I want to queue up. Like, I kind of wish that I could go back in time and queue up with a Chronodile. Like, just to see, like, if it really is as bad as, like, it performed. Because I really feel like Chronodile underperforms because of the fact that it's, like, only represented by newer players. I think you play Heal Stall Chrono. Yeah, I think that there's, like, a lot of directions you could take it in. I'm just, like, because there's so many overlap with, like, cards you would want to play and, like, cards that are meta, like, I'm surprised it doesn't perform better. Like, it's kind of an enigma to me, and I think it's just because, like, we see the thing that we see most commonly with Chronodile is that, like, it attracts newer players, and then we see deck lists that look like this. This has 4 counter runes total, so that's probably not great. 3 Tad Puff. The Aphros package, again, I think I've talked about this before in previous streams, but I think Aphros is bait. Like, it's for sure new player bait. Like, for sure. Because the drawing in Alestrals is actually, like, a lot less powerful than other games. So, like, the draw loop isn't that good, unfortunately. Especially because, like, there's no back row. You're not drawing into anything except for dudes. We're playing the 2-drop, which is totally unnecessary with Poseidon. So that's, like, other cards that could get cut. Like, right away, I see, like, 11 cards, 13 cards that could come out. No, hold on. I just saw the first lights in the Apollos. 18 cards that could come out. There's like 18 cards that could come out. The whole side deck could probably come out and get changed around. So again, I think, and like this still went 3-4. This still beat 3 people. So I think I'm like convinced that Chronodile like has just not been like played by anybody good enough like to pilot it and top with it. Like, I think the players that are, like, consistently topping and doing well are just not playing decks like Chronodile. And I think that, like, if one of, like this, Dimax. Where's Dimax? Dimax! I need you on the Chronodile. I need you to be Chronodile's strongest soldier because Chronodile's not getting the representation it deserves in Top Cut. Let's see. Is this the same deck list? No, this is just a similar deck list. So again, we see the Aphros package. Trident of Poseidon, I think, is another bait card. I don't think Trident is, like, super good. The 2-drop, not super good. So that's, like, 6 cards that can come out. Yeah. I think Dratagua, you never really need more than one of it. Like, even one sometimes feels excessive. It's crazy to me how good Heal Stall is because I never feel like healing is that productive in Alestrals. I do really like the 3 foamies though. 3 foamy, really solid. I like that a lot. But no Earthquake, no Laurels in this deck list. Side deck has no Argos or anything. So again, like I think that this is just like failing to include like certain meta staples is keeping Chronodile down. Because like this is every Chronodile deck that we look through, and not a single one of them looks like it was optimized. Like 2 of them didn't even have complete side decks. And this is a common trend that we've seen with Chronodile every time we look at Chronodile. So I think that is just probably what is keeping this deck down. Frost, Cryoburn, or Crowling, Turbo, Frost. We got 1/3 drop, Rhinosect, Cryoscorch. I think this deck has also been called Snowman. Oh no, there's no Marlis, so this isn't Snowman. Yeah, this is the Frost Beater. I talked about this a little bit in the last stream. While I do think Rhinosect is awesome, I think that Rhinosect unfortunately suffers from like a game mechanic thing that you might just not know about. And playing this deck will teach you very, very quickly is that, let's say your opponent has a Tsunami set, and you go Rhinymph, and you go Rhinymph Expend, and then, so you've spent 2 Frost Spirits and your normal cast, and then you put the Rhinymph in the back row, and then your opponent just casts a Tsunami off of whatever you attached it to, and like, even if it's misenchanted, like, it doesn't matter. It just blows up your dude. So like, you basically casted Earthquake on yourself, but like it was like Giga Earthquake, where instead of it being like 2 spirits pop a card, it's counter rune speed, 1 spirit, pop an Alestral, burn your opponent for 2. So that I think is like the big problem with the Rhinosect stuff, and that's why I think that we've seen the Cryovern 5s pop up, because the Crowling stuff is pretty good, but the Rhinosect stuff suffers from counterplay pretty easily. It's been interesting watching Rhinosect drop off. I think it's dropped off because more and more people have learned how you can play around the Rhinosect. Like, I think as more and more people realize how you can beat the Rhinosect is, like that. Problem is no one's playing Aramare. That's not true. They just play it in 5s instead of Rhinosect. We got 1-4. Rhino is the best. I owed 3 full arts. Same. Big fan. Because I wasn't sure I could just siphon off my enchanted Celestial to mess up Rhino in the Discord. What do you mean? Oh, like if you could cast the Tsunami Misenchanted? Yeah, you can do that. You can always cast runes Misenchanted for no effect. And counter runes and invoke runes can always be played using spirits from your board. You just can't cast like a Demeter using spirits from your board. The day we get Centurion, Lestrals, Rhinosects will go to the moon. Yeah, I think Rhinosect has like future potential, but like right now it's just not super good. It was around 2 opponent. Really fun playing against you at this event. Yo! GG's, dude. I had a lot of fun too. I had a lot of fun playing. I always have a lot of fun playing Lestrals. The community is awesome. Activate PTA or Tsunami off your own Lestrals. My top 8 list has the fix to that. What was the fix to that? Oh wait, did you play? Let me see if I remember. Did you play Prometheus or something? No, you didn't play Prometheus, right? Did you play Helios? Space for Rhino's demand. Yeah, it's also a space problem with Rhinosect. But I think the bigger thing is just that the counterplay is there. And like, if your opponent knows the counterplay, you just have Rhinosects in your hand all game that just never come down. Centarbor, my goat. Centarbor, my goat as well. We're gonna be discussing the future of Centarbor because like Centarbor much better than you might think. This is a 1-4 Frost Nexus, by the way. I see the problem. So one thing that we've learned by looking at Frost Nexus over all of Daybreak and doing all these streams, the one consistent thing is that Frost Nexus was the only deck to perform that consistently broke the Astrabbit rule of like play 3 Astrabbit or you're bad at this game. It was the Frost Nexus was the one exception because every tournament that Frost Nexus topped, it was the only deck in Top Cut every time that did not play Astrabbit. Every single time. And this is a Frost Nexus that plays Astrabbit. So that must be what's wrong with this. I have no further insight to give. Even though Astrabbit, good card. The data doesn't lie, I guess. 1-3's Cryo Scorch. Go Cryo Scorch. I see drops of Leaf. That feels like an issue. If decks were 50 cards, that would fix everything. No. Blizzard over Nog. Oh yeah, Blizzard is pretty solid. You're not wrong. Yeah, I think that this deck is trying to be a little too aggressive with like the drops of Leaf and Chains. Chains is like a common bait that I've fallen for in the past. Unfortunately Chain's not very good. Yeah, especially not now that we have Hurricane. Too many chains in this build. Yeah, I would say too many chains. Interesting that they're siding into a fire package though. I just noticed that. Kind of cool. 2-3 Frostbox. This looks like this is the Snowman deck that I was thinking of, where it's just playing Morolith in a Cryovern deck. I'm playing Polzer. Not a fan of Polzer. I think this card kind of sucks. Two Narpoon is interesting. This might be cards I have Turbo because they're also on a 14 card side deck. It's 14 cards, but 3 of them are spirits as well. I do see the one of Shiveror on the side. Shout out Shiveror. Yeah, not really sure what to make of that. Here we have positive record 3-2 Rhinosect Cryoscorch. 2, 5, 8. Yeah, I mean, they've managed to trim down a little bit. They did put the Cryoscorch in the main deck, which is cool. Yeah, this seems pretty standard for Rhinosect. I think the side deck is probably what needed work here. Just because, again, we see stuff like Laurels and Earthquake in the side, and those should really find their way into the main deck, and Rhinosect is just kind of bumping them out space-wise, which is kind of unfortunate. Also, one thing I haven't really talked about, but was my experience in the tournament, was Cryoblast felt not super great. Not super great. Rhinosect, this is a 4-3 Rhinosect. This one is playing a little bit more Nexus stuff with like Brummelings and like Catarants and Frostics. Sure, they cut the Cryoscorch stuff, but they still are playing the Shiveror, which is interesting. Their side deck is going crazy. They have 3 Spy Nymph and 2 Ash Rabbit. Super interesting. Wait, where's their Earthquake? Chat, where's the Earthquake? They're maining 2 Earth Spirits, but there's no Earthquake. Earthquake, Doko? Okay. Penterror! Shout out to Penterror. Penterror weirdly has been seeing a surge in popularity. I'm not really sure why though. The Earth Surge is for Spy Nymph. Yeah, I mean obviously they're for Spy Nymph, but why not just side the spirits for Spy Nymph? Earthquake, what's that? This Rhinosect player, yeah. Oh, 4 drop Penterror! Yes! 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 They've murdered me. They've murdered me. I'm dead now. No side deck either. Awesome. We got double Ploopki. Shout out to Ploopsy. Oh my god, they're playing 1 Thunder Spirit for their 1 of Elachik. No Ash Rabbit. That's my goat. Then they play some wind cards, and then they play 2 Penterror, 2 Twindra. We know that this is not cards I own Turbo necessarily, because they do have like a counter rune suite, and they have Cryoblasts, and they have Viscerus. They just chose not to play a side deck, and they also chose other stuff. They also played 1 Earth Spirit for 2 Viscerus. I love this caster. This caster is my hero. This is my favorite deck list of the tournament so far. Yes! Yes! Another X, or O and X. Another OX. We got an 0-3 drop Penterror. This one is on Veritaqua. 2 Rabbit. 2 Boombat. Some Exaltaires. 3 of the 2 drops. That Penterror. Oh my god. I love this. And then they're also playing a 3, 6, 7 card side deck, and 3 of those side cards are spirits. I love these casters. Yes! Another O and X! O2 drop Penterror as well. Yo! Oh my god, these Penterror players cannot catch a break. This one looks like this one is built pretty well. 3, 1, 1. All the staples are here. So far, we have not seen a single Penterror deck that has gotten a win. Oh, this one won games. 2-3 Penterror. 2-3 Penterror. Okay, now we're making progress, boys and girls. We are making progress. They played Galaxair. Okay, broken card. Why is this the worst performing deck? I don't know. I love Penterror so much. Penterror, my blue eyes. I love you. That's awesome. I have no words. Okay, this one went 4-3. This one went 4-3. We got 3 footballs, 1 Penterror, 1 Twindra, 4 like some other win dudes. Is it the Galaxair that made it win? It must have been, because that card has stat swap rules. Side deck, Arrowmare, sure. Has ever performed this poorly? Yeah, no, it has. That's me. I played you round 3 into Josh round 4. No! I was on no lava with boycott. Wait, which one is you? Are you 4-3 or are you 2-3? Then 2 Nemiso, they're good. Yeah, the Nemiso is cooking. Ooh, this is a 4-3 Pent. This one's on 3 Galaxair, 2 Viscerus, 3 Spectrus as well. Oh my god. What's awesome about this deck list is even if we do our subtraction rules and we take out the Penterror and the 2 Twindra for dude math, they're still playing 21 dudes, which is awesome. You're the 4-3? Okay. Yeah. Penterror player formerly known as Sir something. Sir something. I think they just got hit with the me Josh 1-2 punch. Spectrus MVP in this tournament. It was everywhere. I know me and Josh in the middle of our tournament run, we started siding cards out and just putting in Spectrus like every game. It was kind of awesome. We just stopped like we just switched our deck list mid tournament. Like we'd go in game 1 and we'd be like, okay, whatever happens in game 1 is fine. After game 1, we side out of stuff and we put in the Spectruses that probably should have been in the main. Yeah. Eruption burn. Yo, where's Daniel A Drive at? Here we go. Krakatuga. Krakatuga. Oh, 1 drop. No, they got their prizing and they dipped. Let's see. How good of a list is this? This is like not bad. I'm done with this stupid crab. Yeah, fuck the crab, dude. Like the crab is so bad. I don't know how we convinced ourselves to play it for 2 tournaments in a row. We got 2 Tadpuff. I hate this card. We do have. Here's an interesting. Okay, here's a bit of Alestral's psyoping that we can perceive here. Water decks, water players always play Nectar of the Gods, right? Because water has the most healers, like Dratagua, Sluggle. This player did not play Dratagua or Sluggle in the main deck, but they still played Nectar of the Gods. This is like we can pinpoint this and say, aha, we have found a psyop where people have just skipped a step in the deck building narrative of water plays Nog because it plays Sluggle, and they've just chopped off the last part and they just said water plays Nog, and now there's Nogs in this deck. Okay. There's Nogs in this deck too, but this is another my goat 0-3 drop Eruption Burn Krakatuga. I love how Law called this Eruption Burn instead of just calling it Krakatuga. I love you, Law. I really love you, dog. Water plays dog, Android. Beat boop. Water plays dog. Beat boop. Okay, this guy at least plays Sluggle. This dude at least plays Sluggle. There might be more decks that should play Nog. It's just tough to fit. Yeah, Nog is super tough to fit. Super, super tough to fit. Especially when you could just, like, expend a draw and, like, get a card that way. 3 Harmonia, holy. 3 Harmonia with no Nexusers and no Argo. And then they're siding into 5 Earth Spirits for an Equilinx, Aroma Gem, and 2 Viscerus. And Demeter and Zeus. I really think that this deck list could have benefited a lot from just not playing Hephaestus Triple Necklace. I think this deck could have, like, benefited a lot from just not playing 3 Necklace of Harmonia, 2 Hephaestus. Another O and X Eruption deck. Okay, I think I see why Law categorized them this way, because these are wildly different decks that he's categorized as both as being Eruption. This is Earth Eruption, this one's Water Eruption, I guess. Because this is Vesuvatuga, this is Krakatuga. Is that Cornucopia? Somebody please let this caster know that Drataya is banned. Please let them know that. Because there's 3 Cornucopia in their deck. Yeah, no further comments there. 1 3-drop Eruption Burn. How is Krakatuga performing so badly? Krakatuga is insane. Like, this card's actually really good. 3 Kinleo, 3 Nekruff, 1 Rumacole for 3 Forge, of course. 2 Volcaries. This just looks like a base set deck. 3 Edward. And then the side deck is kind of whatever. It is 2, 4, 5, 7 Spirits. Is this a new record? Other than the Dimax list that played 14. Maybe guys from my locals, I think they played Cornucopia. They played Vesuvatuga a lot. Oh, okay. That could scan. Do they also play Barabib and Barabog frequently? Because those are in the side. Oh, here we go. Here's a 3/3 Krakatuga. This one played 3 Ash Rabbit. That's kind of cool. You got 3 Sluggle. Sure. 1 Helios Chariot Ride is crazy. We love the 1 Cold Wave in the deck. Just kind of lacking on back row. It's these Nogs that are eating up space, man. Like, I really think the Nog does a lot of damage to these decks just because, like, it's just eating up space. It doesn't need to be there. Haven't played against them yet, but I know the vague list they used previously. Okay, that's probably them. This is the Stellar Kristoff list from 2 tourneys ago. Okay. Union. No unions! No unionizing the Twitch chat. Or the YouTube chat. I'm so confused. I'm thinking that this is my Twitch chat now. Solar! Solar! Okay, so highest Krakatuga was 3/3. And now we have Solar. Shout out Solar. Okay. Let's see what's going on in Solar Land. I'm already disappointed. We've got a 12-card side deck that is siding 3 Gorgons, PTA, and Shield. It's main decking Crab, like the green Crab. 3 Nebuleo, or 3 Celestleo, 3 Nebuleo, 3 of the Leo whose name I don't even know because nobody plays it. It is almost 20 Spirit. We're also on 5 Earth for 1 Earthquake, 2 Crab. Do you think they didn't know about Ascending too? Oh, I wonder, actually. That's going to be a new thing that we're going to have to add to the checklist of, like, I don't knows about. Because I didn't even, like, conceive of somebody not knowing about Ascending being a mechanic. But, like, that would explain a lot if they didn't know that you had to ascend. Let's count for subtractions. How many Ascensions are in this deck? To start, there is 25 Alestrals. Of these 25 Alestrals in the deck, there are 3, 6, 9 Ascensions. That's so awesome. Earth Spirits to play around Barapog. Oh! Awesome. You got 63rd, 1/3 drop solar, 18 solar spirits and 2 lunar spirits. They got 3 Spectrus in the main with pretty solid, like, Nexus stuff. They got the Lustragon engine with Drataya, Exaltair, but then they're also playing First Lights and Apollos and Nebuleo and Plupki. I want to play Solar again. Maybe I'll play Solar and Moonrise. Pharaoh Guy's starter deck went 2-2. Alright. Now, chat. Here's one of the questions we have to ask ourselves. How many of the Owen X's did the Pharaoh Guy starter deck defeat? Also, I don't think that the starter deck gets banned cards, right? There's no banned cards in this, or like limited cards. Like, this deck doesn't get to cheat on anything. This deck literally is just a starter deck that, like, has no upside. There's no upside benefit to queuing with the Pharaoh Guy starter. And they still got more wins than some players in the tournament. That's awesome. I love that. The reason Pharaoh Guys was limited, yep, for the starter deck, of course. And Cockray is about to go crazy. Guards. Here we have a 3/4 solar at 39th place. That has 3 Plupki plus other. Yeah, not too much to say. Glimbad is interesting, but kind of bad. I used to think this card would be good because it was card D, but not good. This might be my round 1 opponent. You played against Solar? I have not seen Solar ever in tournament. Even when I was, like, hyping the shit out of Solar and, like, begging people to play Solar, I never have queued into Solar in my life. That is how off the radar Solar is. I have just literally never queued into Solar. Oh, and that's the end of it. Not a single Solar with a positive record. Solar. My goat. One day Solar will be crazy. One day this deck will be good. I have like a Solar deck list that I want to try out, but like Daybreak's over. Remember the premiere I topped with Cryo Rhino? I faced 2-3 Solar. No! A local player that has $1,000 into solar and they're sad. Bro, I have $2,000 into solar and I'm sad. I'm so down bad. I had to sell my 1 of 10 to recover. Play against a cow deck at Kokomo. You must have dodged them. Yeah, I've literally never played against solar outside of testing. Okay, we have Waterbox, whatever Waterbox is. It's playing Coastalith, my goat. Also sold my seller Coastalith. But Coastalith, my goat. Yeah, this is just it. This is also a Krakatuga deck, technically. But this is the best Krakatuga deck because it doesn't play Eruption. And then they also side a bunch of Solar Spirit. They just side Chronodile cards. They're siding 3 Sundial, 2 Nomadile, and a Chronodile, and a bunch of Solar Spirits. I don't know if I love or I hate this deck. Awesome. Here we have Water Reanimator Drakking Hybrid at 0-2 drop. So this is the first Water Reanimator deck that we've witnessed. It is a Drops of Leaf deck, which is how I know that it can't be that good. Shout out to Drops of Leaf. This card's not very good. Yeah. 3 Tadpuff. Whenever I see Tadpuff and Drops of Leaf in a deck together, I'm like, this deck's just like dumpster bin. Straight into the bin. Here we have Water Reanimator at 3-4. With the Lockagons and Capricorn. 1 Tadpuff. And then it has like Rise from the triple Rise, double Olympus, 3 Jolton. Sure. The problem is with all these decks, there's no back row. Like, how are you supposed to interact with the opponent? There's no back row at all. Here's a 4-3 Water Reanimator that does play back row, unsurprising. And no Tadpuff, unsurprising. And instead plays good cards. So shout out to this Water Reanimator. This is basically just 5s with Capricorn in it, though. Yeah, that's just all the water decks that we had. But I'm sure we'll see it again in Top Cut, because I know I'm curious to see the Water Reanimators that topped, because I've been thoroughly unconvinced of this deck since its inception, and I really want to see like what it looked like in the topping deck lists to see if they did anything interesting with it. Drakking, my goat. 0-4 drop Drakking. Let's go. Yeah, 0-4 drop Drakking. 3-3 drop Drakking. Okay, this one's maining Gloombat. That's kind of cool. I do like Gloombat in this deck for clearing out back row, as well as potentially being a free Ascension for Drakking. Whereas, like, opposed to Tadpuff, which burns you to put it on the board for you to play your Ascension to get shielded or PTA'd. This has dual utility, so I do like this. Gloombat good, Tadpuff bad. But this card also requires your opponent to play a certain way. I think the side deck, just missing cards. Like 6 spirits, yada yada. 5-2 Drakking, holy shit! Drakking bubbled? I think this is the highest performing Drakking we've ever seen in tournament. Hold on. We have 2 Vis, a 5 score. We have 3 Drakid. I told them Drakking good card. Drakking good card, and would you look at that? 5-2 Drakking plays 3 Drakid. Play the Drakid! I love this. Very, very solid main deck, actually. I really like this a lot. Not really too much to change. If you take out the dudes, like you do subtraction math, it still comes out to 20. Very, very solid. Love this. 9 back row is a little bit light, but hey, it worked out. Love that. The side deck is where this deck goes a little off the rails with 1 Necruff, 2 small Tuga, and then 6 heal dudes. Which, like, sure. Like, we're just blind into heal stall, I guess. Doesn't out Galaxy. Drakking is yet another reason why Galaxy needs the rules changed. Shit! I should have platformed for this when Dan was here. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! We need the Galaxy rule changes. Galaxy would not be the meta threat that it is if it just functioned in any way that makes sense. Galaxy having fucked up like nonsense rulings invalidates all of the counterplay to like Galaxy everywhere. And like there's just so many times it's like, damn, this card would be really good if it affected Galaxy in any way. Such as Drakking. So this makes me happy. This is very, very solid Drakking deck. Not too much to change here. I think really the only thing I would change is like take out the Viscerai for Tsunamis. And that's it. Thunder. We got 0-1 drop Thunder with a... Oh my god. Chat. Somebody did it. We hate diversity in this house. 20 Thunder. We got 20 Thunder out here, and it's playing Brontiglow and Titanostrike. It's Thunderstorm o'clock, baby. I love this. This is peak. We have finally seen another 20 Spirit deck. That's awesome. Hold on. I'm sending this to Daniel A Drive right now. Where's Dan? Where's Dan? You gotta do this, at least play Imperial. And Circle the Sky, right? And just another Rhiceros in the side. I love this deck. This is awesome. This is a 1-2 drop Thunder. This one plays it plays the Terrace Brothers. That's what I'm gonna call these cards. I'm gonna play them they're the Terrace Brothers now. We got 3 Spectres, 2 Viscerus. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm derailing the stream. Hold on. Speaking of the Terrace Brothers, I didn't have it yet physically for the tournament. It came in like right after the tournament. But boys, we got 2 Stellar Specteris. Not Specteris. Viscerus. Look at this. Look at these guys. Look at these. We got the semi-limited playset. Thank you, Daniel A Drive, for semi-limiting this card. So now I can have a playset. I gotta play 5s one more time so I can put them in a deck. But yeah, going back to this, we got Toxion's. This is just 5s with like Thunder cards. We got Sonicore Thunder, Jinzo, good card. No foamies though, so very depression. I'm so sad. Where are my foamies? I want foamies for Sonicore. Sad. Bears. Okay. We got a 1-2 drop Bears. All right, Josh. I need you to tag in. Is this a good Bears list? I'm gonna ignore the side deck because the side deck is a disaster. It's all dudes, so that's how I know it's bad. Waiting for when he gets to my Bears list. Is this your Bears list? Josh will decide. There's 2 Ursical. Is that good or bad? I went 1-1? Okay, so that means that you're the other Bears list. All right. Josh has spoken. 2 Ursical, that says everything. All right, now for Daniel Marquez's Bears list. 1-1, Bears. Is that Earth Scout? Which Earth is this? Okay, Josh. Is this better or worse than the last list? Can we compare these lists? You are the bear authority here. I already like this list because it fit Earthquake in. Also, since we do have a 1-1 gamer in the chat, I need to know, why drop at 1-1? This came up earlier in the stream. Why drop at 1-1? Why not play out for the 1-2 or the 2-2 or the, 3-2 or the whatever? Go back to the other one real quick. Boy Math Bears. We love Boy Math Bears. I was Sleepy Bear. I was sleepy. All right, perfect. That was the answer I needed. 1-1 drop means bedtime. All right, perfect. Thank you for answering this burning question. Cool. Earth. This list is way better than the other one, but why Earth's coat? Mystic Tomato, good card. Is this one Mystic Tomato? Mystic Tomato, good card. My prize doesn't drop, but I felt bad after winning the first game. Ah, I see. All right, we got Earth. 2-3 drop Earth. Poor Earth. We got Echolangs, Moss, like 2 Lynx, 2 Crab, 3 Muds, 2 Visk, 3 Rabbits, Elichick, Yalton. And then we have 2 Gloombat, 1 Spectrus. We valued Gloombat over Spectrus? Oh, that's diabolical. I don't understand that at all. We also have Bloom in this deck, so this is the best deck of all time. Never mind. No further comments. It has Bloom. Wait, hold on. That's an insane jump. Hold on. It went from 2-3 Earth to 5-2? Yo, Earth back on the menu. Oh my god, is this Bug Snacks? Wait. It has Art Bud in it. It's Bug Snacks Earth. Josh, Bug Snacks went 5-2. Joshy, Bug Snacks. Look, it's Bug Snacks, Joshy. It's Bug Snacks. It went 5-2. Oh, this might affect the later part of the video. Sylvia, I lost to this. Yo, that's insane. I would hardly call this Bug Snacks. Yeah, this is not like traditional Bug Snacks, but it is Art Bud. This is my teammate. Yo, Bug Snacks. I love that. And them. Wind. We got 1-2 drop Wind. Let's see. Chrysbore. Shadow's Chrysbore deck. Tornado. Shadow's Tornado. Okay. Oh my god. Why are both of the Wind deck? Hold on. There's only 2 Wind decks in this tournament, and both of them ran Chrysbore. What the hell, man? Where's the Chrysbore love coming from? That's all I have to say about this Chrysbore. Wasp Ivy, 0-1 drop Wasp Ivy, no side deck. They collected their prizings and they dipped. 2-3 drop Wasp Ivy. This one plays Bag of Winds. But sides the Golden Fleece. Okay, so it plays both. Yeah, this is it sure is Wasp Ivy. But they only play 2 rabbit. What the hell? Play the 3rd rabbit. You surely have space. And that's all of Swiss. Okay, we made it to top cut. Sideboard is good trust. Yeah, you're right. All right, top 8. We got 2 water 5s. That was me and Josh. 2 water reanimator, 1 fire Nexus, 1 frost water 5s, 1 Rhinosect Cryovern, and 1 thunder 5s. So we got me. Hi, this is me. This is water 5s. I got cooked in top 8. And I went 5-2. I snuck in. This list I should not have topped. I snuck in at the 5-2 topping record, and then I lost frame 1 in top cut. Like I got 2-0'd frame 1 in top cut. So shouts to 5s. It was literally the same deck as last time, except we switched out Necra for Viscerous. Viper got top 8 with Fire Nexus. So glad to see that they topped, because I did lose to Viper. They were one of my losses. And I thought they bubbled out, but it was actually Dimax that bubbled out. So this is the same list that we've seen before. Again, I think that there should be 2 Stoke and an Earthquake in here, but everything else looks good. Terrible list. Josh, are you talking about our list or Viper's? Because the frame 1 terrible list is sending me, dog. Okay, here's the water reanimator that I wanted to look for. This is top 8 Jack Yomu water reanimator. Okay, they do have back row in it, but it's still only 5 back row. I still don't understand. No Galaxy, no Crab and Main. Our list was so bad. Oh yeah, our list was awful. I don't get it. I really thought that there would be something like different. I do not get it. I don't understand this deck. The Capricorn just does not feel like it's worth it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's like worth the investment. So, not really sure what's going on with this. Let's see if this one's any different. This is Soren. They also played the water reanimator deck. They played only 3 Gorgons, so still like no back row. I don't get it. I have to play like against this deck more, because this deck has not convinced me in any of my testing, but it's like it's topping, and it's topping without back row too. Like, it's got to be crazy, but I just don't get it. Like, it's the same list we've seen a few times. Huh. Oh, wait. Bean Soldier. Oh, my God. Yeah, terrible list. Healing OP, I guess. Yeah, I guess this is just heal stall, but, like, with Capricorn. But, like, I feel like just playing heal stall would be better. The staples held me back. I had staples in my list, but didn't have the cards on hand, so threw together what I had. Yo, we called it again! Yo! That's awesome. Thank you for the clarification, Celestial's Nexus. Appreciate you, homie. How Cap topped, honestly. I also don't understand how Capricorn topped. Like, no shade, but, like, I don't get it. Like, I do not understand how this deck is performing at all. Like, I guess it's just like water good card, but like the no back row is like confusing me. The Lockagon makes more sense. Yeah, well, like the Capricorn makes more sense to me if you're gonna play water reanimator, because this is the reanimator, because it just summons back an Alestral from grave. like it brings back one of your water Elestrals. So you like reanimate into the Capricorn. So you go like Atlantis, rise from, get back a Sluggle, heal 3, ascend Capricorn, beat into something, their thing dies, you reborn a Sluggle or something, and then you heal another 3, and then you beat at them. And like that's powerful by itself, but like having no back row to back that up feels really bad. Like that feels really, really awful. So like, I don't know, like there's some vision here that I'm just not seeing, and cool. I mean, like, yeah, I just don't understand it though. But like, admittedly, I have not like played against this deck nearly enough to like feel its power, but it's cool to see that it topped. Once again, terrible list. And then Sir Tractor, Rhinosect, Crowvern. Oh yeah, you were playing. I keep forgetting that you were playing Rhinosect, Crowvern. Like, I played against Tractor, couldn't remember that, like, thought he wouldn't be playing this, and then somebody asked me what Tractor was playing, like, later on in the day, I think, and I told them it was not Rhinosect, Crowvern. Like, I told them it was some different deck, and I was like, oh, I thought that I forgot what they were playing. That's crazy. Like, I cannot place Cryoburn in like Tractor's head. Like it just doesn't scan for me. My only 2 losses were Adrian and Swiss and Jess and semis. Yo, that makes sense. This deck's crazy. Like, this deck is insane, but I think that's just because Sir Tractor's the GOAT. Yeah, so let me take a look at this. 2 Narpoon. I don't understand 2 Narpoon. Like, why wouldn't you play 3? Same with like Eddie. Why wouldn't you like go up on these? Is it just for space? I get all the one-ofs. The one-ofs make sense because they're all searchable with Narpoon. Yeah, I guess the deck list is really cramped, so it's like it makes sense. You managed to fit a lot of good stuff in here, like on really tight space. So deck building really good. Eddie was poopy. Heard. Eddie bad. Narpoon not good. Side deck seems good. Pandora's box is interesting. What was the Pandora's box for? That's like the one thing that I just like don't get. I assume it's for like Argo. And like Rise, or not Rise, what's it called, the Rock and a Hard Place, that's what it's called. I assume it's for Argo and rock stuff, but I wouldn't know. This is second place. We got Jess. This is the Water Frost 5s. This is the same list we saw earlier from like the Laura list. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this list before. The one of Crowvern, I think that is like the only downside to this list is just playing the one Crowvern. I get why they do it, but I think that I don't know. I think the second one comes up a lot, so I guess good that they didn't draw it. Pandora box is for Pent. Oh. Damn, you respected Pent. I didn't even think people would be on Pent. And then it was like the 3rd most represented deck, which is crazy. And then here we go. We got Adrian B. We got the Thunder 5s, the first place list. I think this is the same list as last time, right? Because it's still got the 1 Thunderstorm, the 1 Race, 1 Jolton, 1 Olympus. Yeah, I think this is the same, literally the same list from the last tournament. Okay. Good shit. Oh, 1 Spectrus with 1 Owloon. Only card an 8/5 can beat is a 14/5. Fair. Some minor sideboard changes, basically the same. Oh, I see. I didn't have the side deck memorized, but yeah, basically same list. All right. So clearly this list is goated because it's cooked twice now. Questions and comments. Yeah, this is the open floor segment of the stream. This is the part where I remind you guys to like the stream if you haven't already. And then after, if there's no further questions, comments, now we move on to the Daybreak discussion. But I'm gonna use the bathroom first. Except for side deck. Okay. Okay. Any questions, comments, or concerns before I go pee and then we move on to talking about Daybreak? Going once, going twice. Okay. Comment. Play Cryo Rhino people. Thank you for the comment, Sir Tractor. All right, I'm going to go pee. Like the stream, you guys. It does help us out a lot, especially if you've been hanging out. I'm going to go pee. I'll be right back, and then we talk about Moonrise, because that's exciting. Okay, so chat, I have a very important update. The most important update, actually, for the stream, since I know you guys are all wondering, is it's a Roomba update. Update on the new Roomba. I hadn't heard the Roomba moving around in a while. So when I went to the bathroom, I found the Roomba, which had somehow shut the door on itself. Cestrals. And I'm going to switch the music now. I'm going to switch the music. We're moving to Moonrise. This is the future. I have some decks that I want to discuss, because I think some of these decks will be very worth talking about. Let's go over them. Some of them might be obvious. Some of them might be less obvious. I haven't really planned where I'm going to put these yet, but these are the decks to keep an eye on, I think, like week 1, like month 1 of Moonrise metagame. So let's first talk about bug snacks. You heard me call the Earth deck playing Ardbud earlier bug snacks, which was the name that I affectionately gave a deck that me and Josh were working on, which was basically just Earth Nexus with Ardbud in it. But like we were going a little bit like heavier on the bugs. And so bug snacks, we already saw like a variant of bug snacks, I guess. Go 5-2 in Daybreak. So I'm gonna actually put bug snacks in B tier. B for bug snacks tier. Bug snacks is basically Earth Nexus, but you get a Stratos. But it searches for the best cards in the game. It searches for Viscerus, it searches for Spectrus, and I think there's like some other bugs that you can search with it. You can search Rhinosect with this stuff, which is crazy. So bug snacks, keep it on the radar. Kind of B tier. It's not like insane, but definitely good. Another deck that is also Earth that I think should be on everybody's, maybe not on everybody's radar, but like on the table to discuss, is Centarbor. Why Centarbor? That seems like a really weird deck to discuss. Well, Centarbor actually got some support that is not like being talked about, and that card is Cedar Sword. Very unassuming little guy. This little Clovey line retrain is a Earth Frost Celestials that, if it's sent to the graveyard, can be cast with either 2 Earth or 2 Frost. And, you know, that seems like whatever. Until you remember that Paleoth is a card. So if we go back to Frostfall, all the way back to Frostfall, this little guy that has done nothing the whole game, he exists. And when he's destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, so if he's destroyed, you search for up to 2 Earth Elestrals, not 1 cost, just Earth Elestrals that have the same name, and then you can send one to the other world and add the other to your hand. Which means that Paleoth is now a floater into a 2-drop. So, let's say you're playing against 5s. They have a Galaxy and like an Eddy on the field or something, right? They go Eddy attack Paleoth, Paleoth effect, or not Galaxy Eddy, you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, like Necrof Eddy. You know, they attack your Paleoth, you say, sure, Paleoth effect, summon a 6 from your deck, and they're like, oh shit, can't get over that, your turn. And then you ascend into Centarbor. And then you just like start fucking them. You start fucking them with the Centarbor, and then you win. So I'm gonna say Centarbor B tier. This deck is actually kind of cool, because it does slot like similar to Ardbud. It slots into an Earth core. Earth has always been like really good, but it actually like gives Earth a reason to play Centarbor. So potentially something there. Also, fun fact, the first ever tournament game of Elestrals I ever lost was in a Tuesday night casual against Centarbor. That was the first ever game that I played, because my opponent, like, I was in full control of the game. They had 1 card in their hand, and they had a Paleoth and nothing else. And they had like 6 spirits, I think it was. I attack the Paleoth, and they say, yeah, dump Centarbor, add Centarbor. Draw for turn, rise from the ashes, cast Centarbor. And I lost because I never drew Earthquake. So yeah, Centarbor, very scary card. 3 drops, I think, are kind of the new flavor of Moonrise, kind of closing out base set with 3 drops, because I think 3 drops get really good, and no 3 drop is better than Blitztrix, which I think goes straight up into S tier. It may be A tier, like maybe A tier, because I'm not really sure with how consistent the deck is with the milling, with like milling cards and whatnot. But Blitztrix has been testing very well for me. This deck is crazy good, and I can't wait to play it. But I'm not like, I think this needs to be tournament tested, because it tests really well, but I don't know if it would hold up over like 9 rounds of Swiss. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how like crazy it would be over an entire tournament run, but this deck, like, if it's good, this deck is the best deck. If this deck is good, it's the best deck. If it's not, and it's like A tier, and if it's not like good at all, then it's like D tier. But I'm putting this in S tier. That hopefully this won't be my next solar. Prage's not another solar, but this deck is testing insane. Another deck that's kind of surprising me. I'm gonna put A tier for Joblin. Joblin, I did not have faith in. I thought that this deck was gonna be like C tier. This deck is actually way better than I expected it to be. It kind of benefits a lot from water just being good cards, like good card turbo. But yeah, pretty solid. Like, the Joblin stuff is like, they have really good control tools, has been really solid. You know, it might come down to B tier maybe. Actually, B tier might be a better home for it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in B tier actually. This deck's like, it's good, but like it might just be worse than just playing like 5s. But like, it's pretty good. Like, it's like high B tier. I'll put it like towards the top of B tier. Dragalis. This is the honorable solar mention for Dragalis. I think that Cockeray and Draco Ray are pretty good. I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, they're still solar cards. So unfortunately, they're in D tier. I've been trying to make this deck good, like, since I revealed Draco Ray, and it's just not coming together. It's still just so much worse than everything else. And unfortunately, I think that this deck, if only this deck released as like the only things coming out of Moonrise and no other cards came out of Moonrise, I think that this would be like B tier. However, other cards came out in Moonrise, and those cards are better than Dragalis. So I think it's still D tier. But Solar best deck? Oh, of course. Solar best deck. Unfortunately, the chicken, I just don't think is part of it. I have Galaxy here for 5s. I think 5s you can never really go wrong with. It's just really efficient, really good stuff turbo. I think it just goes to A tier. It's definitely not as good as it has been, though. It's like significantly worse than it has been in the past. But I think it's still really good. Like, I think that this deck will definitely perform very well in the first couple tournaments. And, like, over time, I think it'll fall off. Because, like, people aren't going to be playing very refined decks at first. They're still going to be, like, figuring stuff out. So I think it has a chance to bully in the first couple tournaments. But even as we saw in this most recent Daybreak tournament, and that's why I, like, bundled these together, is 5s was not as good as it had been historically. Like, it started to feel not very good in this most recent webcam tourney, and I think that trend is only going to increase. So I think it's going to come down from like S tier to A tier. So I'm going to put it in A tier for now. Draco getting bodied by Spoiled Fruit is extremely unfortunate. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Moonrise that unfortunately gets invalidated by like weird rulings with Spoiled Fruit. For example, Ash Rabbit gets bodied by Spoiled Fruit, because even if you don't target a spirit, you can still Spoiled Fruit an Ash Rabbit. So Ash Rabbit goes from being like a top tier card to like a bottom tier fire card. Like, that card is very, very bad now. But that really comes down to how much play Spoiled Fruit sees. I'm not sure if Spoiled Fruit is going to be good or bad. Next up, we got Thunder Lunar. I think Thunder Lunar is an interesting deck. Josh keeps telling me that it's like good. But I have not won a single game with this deck. So I'm gonna put this in C tier. Thunder Lunar does not feel very good. It feels like the synergy just doesn't really feel like it's there. Yeah. So potentially remains to be seen. Like, maybe this can move up over time, but I'm gonna say Thunder Lunar C tier for now. In theory, it's really good, but it's just not testing very well. Another deck that I think is going to be probably a top tier contender, this is either high A or low S tier, is Lunar Aggro or just Lunar. Lunar is actually really, really strong. But it's strong in a way that feels familiar. It basically, I think that Lunar Aggro is the new 5s. I think that 5s just gets out competed at what it wants to do by Lunar Aggro, even though they're kind of the same deck. Like, they fill the same niche. Lunar Aggro just does it a little bit better than 5s does. So Lunar Aggro, definitely S tier pick. Definitely something you should watch out for. The Lunar cards are very, very good. Like Void seems busted. I have 0 testing. Like Void has felt pretty good in testing. There's been like some weird dissidence recently with some people saying that Like Void's terrible because it's like a vanilla. But this card has been testing very, very well. Like, so I don't really know where that opinion comes from. This card's crazy. When you're good in Moonrise, dang, that's crazy. Hey, don't joke. Don't jinx it, because Frost was bad in Frostfall and Solar was bad in Daybreak. So I don't know. Like, let's not get our hopes up, but I think it's very good. And it really kind of comes off the back of Werepup Like a Void, because those cards are really good. Like, Full Moon is probably one of the best cards in the set. Also, Starbit. Starbit is an interesting card. Normally, like on first glance, I wanted to put Starbit down here in D tier. But I think it was like literally last night, Josh just like threw together a Starbit deck that was going nuts. And it was very similar to Water Reanimator. Like, the idea was like to play Water Reanimator Starbit, and that deck was very good. So I think, but he was drawing crazy. Like, he was drawing crazy. So I'm gonna say it's like either C tier or B tier. I'm gonna optimistically put it in B tier. But it might fall down to C tier, because I'm still unconvinced on the whole Water Reanimator concept, but I do think if you're going to play Water Reanimator, Starbit's the way to go. For sure. Frost was good in Frostfall, and I'll die on that hill. Josh, it was terrible. That deck was so bad. Fulgorix. So I have Fulgorix separated here from Lunar Aggro, because you can play Lunar Aggro without Fulgorix, but Fulgorix I don't think is necessary for Lunar Aggro. Fulgorix I'm going to put down in C tier. I think it's better than like trash, like, because it's still playing Lunar cards, and Lunar cards are good. But I think that in terms of Lunar decks, it's one of the worst ones that you could possibly be running, just because the synergy really isn't there with what the other Lunar stuff wants to do. So I'm gonna put down in C tier. Fire Nexus, I'm gonna put either in S tier or in A tier. I'm not entirely convinced yet. Where this falls on this threshold between S and A kind of depends on how viable Blistrix is, because this deck has a pretty good Blistrix matchup from what I've seen. So I'm gonna put it optimistically in A tier, but like, this is already like a high tier pick in current format, so it might actually just jump up to being S tier. It might be one of the best decks, but that's yet to be seen. So I'm gonna put it in A tier for now, but this is definitely a good deck, and it continues to be a good deck in Moonrise. I just don't know if it benefits from any of the new cards yet. Yeah, because I know Dymax is a big believer in like the sniffer guy, the what's it called, like Embor or something. I don't know. Like, he's a big believer in that. I'm not. I think those cards are trash. But yeah. Here's an interesting one, is Heal Stall. Now, I'd be inclined to put Heal Stall in D tier because of Spoiled Fruit. I'm actually going to put it a little bit higher. I'm going to put it in C tier, because I already think this deck has fallen out of favor in favor of Water Reanimator and current. But I think it gets worse because of Spoiled Fruit, so I'm going to put it down here. Fire bad in Moonrise, in your opinion? No, Fire gets better in Moonrise. If it's good in Daybreak, like, if you're saying it's bad in Moonrise, then it's even worse in Daybreak. Like, this deck gets a lot better in Moonrise. Here's another deck that is... I don't know how to feel. I'm going to put Winjin... I'm going to put it... Winjin is probably a C tier deck, if we're being really honest with ourselves. Winjin is probably C tier. here's, I don't know. I kind of want to put it up in B tier. This deck has a lot of potential, and it feels really good, but it just struggles so hard into some of these other decks. The big thing that Winjin has going for it is its ability to search basically any card in the game for free. So you basically always have whatever you need in this deck. But the problem is that it's not good in Wind. Winjin is a solar card. And solar is in D tier. So I think Winjin is the best solar deck, but I think that solar is struggling still. So yeah, Windbox is gonna be better with Winjin. No, I don't think that you ever put Winjin into solar or into Wind. Winjin is a solar card. Like, that is a solar card. And that's really unfortunate. If you play Pringle, Frostball, Print, Hollows, Winjin will be S tier. Jesus. All right, moving on to Morfrost. I think Morfrost. This is so Morfrost is I'm gonna call this Terror Control specifically, which is like a variant of Frost that we've seen before that aims to like get Boreas up with like Morfrost Terraform on the field and then like reduce all your dudes. I'm putting this up in A tier. This deck like hasn't been super great before. It gets really good in Moonrise though because of Aurora Borealis. That card is crazy. Like, that card is really, really strong. So I think Aurora Borealis making Morfrost Terraform good merits this up probably in A tier. This deck has been testing really, really well. There is a world where potentially it's like this, actually. Like, I have Blistrix over Terror Control right now, but this might just be the more consistent Frost deck. But Frost is looking very, very solid in Moonrise. Frost is looking very, very good. Here's an interesting one. Pharaohgeist. I think you guys would probably expect Pharaohgeist to be like really high up there because of its recent limitation. I'm putting it in B tier. This card just doesn't do that good. Like, Pharaohgeist is insane, obviously, like, if it touches the board. I just think that, like, it's not as good as something like a Void and like the Lunar aggro deck. Like, you can put Pharaohgeist in the Lunar aggro deck, but a lot of times it feels like you're putting it in and it's like, this should be back row instead. So I'm gonna put this in B tier, but like, this card is crazy if it comes down. Trish, don't do this. Josh, I'm just telling you, it's B tier, bro. It's B tier. Like, there's better things that we can do in Lunar. Like, this is gonna be the Celestlio. This is the Celestlio Exalter thing. Like, Comalis into Pharaohgeist is the same thing as Exalter into Celestlio, and it's just not gonna happen. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But if it does happen, you win on the spot. So I'll put it in B tier, because I think that it's a little bit better than Solar was, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. And then this one is pretty easy to slot in. This is Valdusk D tier. This is unplayable. This deck is awful. Like, we need a separate tier for Valdusk. Like, this deck is so unbelievably bad. It is so bad it hurts. Like, I don't even know where to start with Valdusk. It is so bad. So unbelievably bad. It's awful. This is the worst deck in Moonrise. Do not waste your time with this deck. Yeah. And that's the tier list. I think some, like, just basic comments on the format from what I've seen. Spoiled Fruit is an interesting card, and I'm not really sure if it's going to see a lot of play or a little bit of play. Because, like, you can side it for heal stall, sure. But the question becomes, do you side it, or do you just, like, main deck it? Like, is it a card that you just play because everybody plays Ambrosia? I don't know. Maybe. Like, there is a world where you get jump scared by somebody main decking Spoiled Fruit, because it hits Ambrosia, and like you manage your resources in a weird way, and then you lose. Like say you don't have Earthquake in your hand and you expend all of your Earth Spirits, and then you draw Earthquake and you need this Earthquake to resolve, and you go Ambrosia for the Earthquake, and then they Spoiled Fruit you, and then you lose on the spot. Because Spoiled Fruit has the ability to potentially burn the opponent for 1, because they play Ambrosia to do nothing. But then it also potentially rips cards out of their hand that they can't play because they just manage their spirits as if, like, oh, you know, I don't need these spirits right now. I'll just Ambrosia back for those spirits when I need them. So Spoiled Fruit is interesting for that reason. I don't know how good it is, though. But I do think that its existence makes Heal Stall a little bit less, like, viable as a play option, which is cool. But the other thing is that Spoiled Fruit, like, just that card's existence invalidates decks. Like, Voldusk, for example, you can't play that deck because if Spoiled Fruit is ever played, like, you play a 1/5, you try to draw a card, and it just gets Spoiled Fruit immediately. Like, you play a Lunar Phase, you die. Is good, but I'm definitely going to lose to it. Yeah, Spoiled Fruit is one of those cards where it's like, should it be in your deck? Maybe. Are you going to lose to it? Yeah, probably. Good inside no matter what for Thunder decks, and Quackle and Water for Sluggle. But see, that's the thing, is because the Thunder and Water decks know that you can play Spoiled Fruit, they can just choose not to play Sluggle and Quackle, which makes Spoiled Fruit a bad card. So I think Spoiled Fruit will catch people off guard until they switch up their deck building. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with those. But Spoiled Fruit's interesting. Another interesting one is Hurricane, where I was talking about this earlier on the stream. Hurricane is it feels really strong when you have it in your hand, because your opponent sets a bunch of back row and you Hurricane them, and then you force through like a really powerful play, and you're like, oh my god, I'm winning this game. Until you realize that you kind of want them to have that back row, because you burn yourself for 3, but then think about all the spirits that they don't burn themselves for because they don't activate those back row. Which is kind of like an interesting dynamic where it's like, yes, you're forcing your plays through. However, if they can answer those plays ever, then what was the point of Hurricaning? And it's probably just better to grind through the back row rather than like wipe it out all at once. Another thing that's also interesting about it is that it potentially warps how people play the game. Because like right now, if you have back row in your hand, you may as well set it. But now you have to like second guess yourself. It's like, do I want to play around Hurricane or not? And then if like Hurricane is good, well, do you only set 1 back row? If you set 1 back row, then P-Gust and Thunderstorm become insane. If you set 2 back row, then like Aviolith and Gloombat become insane, which means you may as well just set all 3, which means that Hurricane is insane. Like, no matter how you want to try and play around it, Hurricane creates a game state where like back row in general just feels really icky to try and like play, which is part of the reason why I think stuff like Lunar Aggro and like Blizztrix are potentially going to be so strong, is because they might just like avoid playing back row. And I think that that might be where the metagame is headed, is just not playing back row at all. Because if no matter what you do or how you set your back row, if you're just praying your opponent doesn't have the out, there's no point to set back row in the first place. Joblin B tier. We're feeling good today. I'm used to things I love being terrible. Yeah, I thought Joblin was going to be really bad when I first read it, and Joblin surprised me. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. Doesn't play back row and can free roll Hurricane. Yeah, I agree. So, Water Reanimator is a good Hurricane deck from my testing, because it's like you can just Hurricane all their back row and then reanimate into like a starbit or something into a supernova and then swing with a supernova that has like a billion spirits on it. And then if the supernova dies, it Nexuses all those spirits so you don't lose them. So it's definitely something to like keep an eye on. For sure. This is kind of how I would like place this. So yeah, this is the tier list. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot of this, just for my own sake. Josh, I'm gonna park this in your DMs. Yeah, this is my take on the early Moonrise metagame. I'm interested to see how much of this is right and how much of this is like wildly off the mark. But yeah. I don't really have anything else for us. Is there any questions, comments, concerns, open discussion? I think we've talked about everything, right? Like, Hurricane. We had the Hurricane conversation. We had the tier list. We had Voldusk bad conversation. Yeah, I don't know. We're in Fornax. It's bundled with Fire Nexus. I know that you're a believer on Infornax. I am unconvinced that Infornax is like particularly good. But I'm willing to be convinced. But for now, it's just bundled with Fire Nexus because, like I think that like any deck playing in Fornax is still basically a Fire Nexus deck. What about Moose? Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's in like Voldusk tier. But it's a win card. It shut up. We all know that Infornax is a fire card. Hurricane is almost certainly going to be going to Tartarus sooner than later. I don't think that Hurricane needs to go to Tartarus. I do think it would probably go to 1 though. Because like I don't know, Hurricane's weird. Like Hurricane really is a card that is like straight up weird to assess because it seems insane, but it underperforms like crazy. And Fornax's win. I love you, Dimax. Is Golem Searcher worth commenting on? Oh yeah. I think that card is probably bad. Everyone keeps telling me that it's bad. I think that there's a chance that the Golem Searcher is like okay for specifically Verdalith and nothing else. Yeah. that's all that's where I'm at, is like specifically Verdalith and nothing else. Carry off, steal their Blistrix, and use this effect to destroy itself. Easy game. Carry off, also bad. Same with the Toxiri, also bad. What other like probably bad cards are there? I don't know. Josh, Dimax, any other like objectively poo-poo tier cards? No. Yes, no. Okay, well. With that said then. Cactobrum. Oh yeah. Cactobrum bad. Antitan. Antitan probably bad as well. Ardbud good, but Antitan bad. Yeah. Bandaloon. Oh. Bandaloon is another. I forgot about Bandaloon even existing. Bandaloon bad, but Bandaloon is another card that makes back row terrible. So the thing there, if there's one theme in Moonrise, it is back row not playable. So I forgot about Bandaloon. Holy. So let's think about all the cards that is like that punish back row in Moonrise, because there's too many. It's Hurricane, obviously, Aviolith, Gloombat, Like a Void, Bandaloon? Am I forgetting others? There's more. I think there's more cards that like specifically punish back row. Pulveror, kind of, because it plays around Tsunami Altar, like functionally. There's got to be one more. We already have Chains of Prometheus and Helios as like anti-back row cards. There's like so much back row hate in this game now. Like so much that I really think that we are like looping back to a metagame where you just do not play back row. Also punishes PTA too. Oh yeah, of course. Theraheart? Oh my god. Does Theraheart actually beat back row as well? Magnaros. I don't know how Electronite and Magnaros beat back row, but Pulveror is another back row hate. Like there's just so much hate for back row right now. Like it's disgusting like how much there is. And I think that that's going to need to get addressed probably with a list, because I cannot for the life of me understand why they thought that we needed this much back row hate. Like Hurricane was good enough. Hurricane was the only back row hate that we needed. And then they print like 60 billion cards that like defeat back row. Like every card in this set beats back row. Yeah, so there's just so much back row hate. But yeah, those are kind of my Moonrise early takes. Nothing too refined yet, but yeah. So with all that said, this has been fun. I think I'm gonna tap out because I need to eat dinner. So thank you guys for joining us. Especially because this is kind of like, who cares about Daybreak, because Moonrise is here now. But yeah, so thank you guys for joining. This was fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Also, like the stream if you haven't already. Like, subscribe, and consider becoming a member for our 2 members. They're lonely. All right, goodbye.